concept related to universal shift register, which I had not discussed. Okay, this is very important. So let us see that now. Universal shift register. Okay, yeah. So a universal shift register is a register which has both right shift and left shift with parallel load capabilities. Okay, so this is the basic definition of a universal shift register. It consists of both right shift and left shift parallel capabilities. Okay, it could be shifting either in the left side or right side. Now, universal shift registers are used as memory elements in computers. A unidirectional shift register is capable of shifting in only one single direction. Okay, whereas the bidirectional shift register is capable of shifting in both the direction. But here in this case, since it is universal shift register, it could be the directions could be either unidirectional or bidirectional. It doesn't depend on it. Okay, yeah. Now the USR is a combination design of bidirectional shift register and unidirectional shift register with parallel load provision. Okay, so the diagram with respect to the uh, truth table of this USR is given here. You see here what happens in this USR. We are having two initial select lines which are S1 and S0. So we are having four combinations for that 0001 1011, and the register operation at each combination is for 00 there is no change happening. For 01 we are doing the right shift. For 10 we are doing the left shift, and for 11 the parallel load. Okay, whatever the parallel inputs are generated, based on that the parallel outputs are provided. Okay, so this is the basic block of the USR here, which is very important. It uses four is to 1 mux, four D flip flops, four parallel inputs, that is I4, I3, I2, I1, and four parallel outputs A4, A3, A2, A1. Okay, please note the diagram very correctly. The lines and the connections are a bit confusing, so you should not be confusing it. Okay, initially it is parallel in, parallel out connection. Okay, parallel inputs and parallel outputs are given. These are four parallel inputs and four parallel outputs. It uses four is to 1 mux and four D flip flops. Okay, it uses a clear signal, which is a toggle signal, which would be useful for the toggle inputs. And we are having one clock signal which is common for all the flip flops, and we are having two select lines here, and that select line is fed back to all other muxes initially. Okay, and we are having one serial input for right shift here, which is given through the first mux, and one serial input for left shift, which is given to the final mux. Okay, so this is that diagram, guys. Please note it down. Okay, so the operation for this, you see here what happens in the 4-bit universal shift register, how it operates. So firstly, the basic connections. The first input, zeroth pin of multiplexer, that is zeroth pin of multiplexer is connected to the output pin of the corresponding flip flop. Okay, that is this zeroth pin is there, right? From this pin 0 it is given back to the output. Okay, so this is the first output A4, right? Yeah. The second input, that is the first pin of multiplexer, is connected to the output of the very previous flip flop, which facilitates the right shift. Okay, so this is given to the right shift of the previous flip flop. The third input, that is the second pin of multiplexer, is connected to the output of the very next flip flop. That is, this second pin is connected to the output of the very next flip flop, that is A3, right? And the fourth pin, that fourth input, that is the third pin of multiplexer, is connected to the individual bits of the input data, that is I4, right? Similarly, the same connection pattern goes on with respect to the different muxes, right? So now the counters. So these were the connections part, and this is the truth table of a universal shift register, or how it operates. Okay, so these things under USR are very important. Please note it down, which is very important. Okay, so in this video we are going to be discussing with some of the characteristic table and characteristic equations, along with the excitation table of the four fundamental flip flops, that is SR flip flop, JK flip flop, T flip flop, and D flip flop. Okay, this video you cannot be skipping at all. It is very important, and this question would be definitely arriving in the final exam for this subject. Okay, so now only I'm telling, don't skip any part of the video. Do take a note of this video. Okay, yeah. So let us start now. Characteristic table and equations. Okay, so what do you mean by this? You see here, the characteristic table defines the next state output of the whatever the fundamental flip flop we use. Okay, it is the next state output of the flip flop as a function of its inputs and present state output. Okay, so the Qn refers to the present state, and Qn plus 1 refers to the next state after the occurrence of the clock pulse. Okay, So the characteristic table for the SR flip-flop shows that the next state is equal to the present state when both inputs S and R are equal to 0. Okay, so this is for the SR flip-flop, and when R is equal to 1, the next clock pulse clears the flip-flop output Q to 0, and when S is equal to 1, the next clock pulse set the flip-flop output Q to 1, and when both the inputs are high, the next state output of SR flip-flop is indeterminate. Okay, so this is basically the truth table which they have given for the SR flip-flop. Now with respect to characteristic table of present and next state, how it is given, you see. Okay, so you see here the characteristic equation is the functional Boolean equation that is derived from the characteristic table. So whatever the characteristic table you get, right, the function table, based on that you need to be building a K-map and getting the Boolean function. Okay, so how that is done, you see here one by one. First for the SR flip-flop. Okay, you see here this is the characteristic table of a SR flip-flop. So there are totally two inputs S and R. The outputs are of present state and next state. Okay, so I've made a pair of four combinations. One is for 0 0, 0 1, 1 0, and 1 1. Totally there are 4, right? First is for 0 0 we have two pairs, 0 1 we have two pairs, 1 0 we have two pairs, and for 1 1 we have two pairs. Okay, so now what you need to be doing for the present state, when S and R both are low, we know that present state input when it is 0, the next state would be 0. Okay, but when the present state is 1, the next state also would be 1, because we've seen that according to the definition the state remains unchanged, right? So that's why whatever is the present state, that only the bit would be there in this next state when it is 0 and 1. Okay, so you see here when the combination is 0 0, when the qn is 0, when output produced if it is 0, the next state also would be 0, and for 1 the next state also would be 1. Okay, so this is for 0 0. Now for 0 1, the combination when the at the present state when qn is equal to 0, qn plus 1 is equal to 0, and for 0 1 when qn is equal to 1, q of n plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, whatever may be the inputs whatever may be the output provided, that is 0 or 1, in the next state for the combination of 0 1 it is in the reset state. Okay, so that's why both the outputs are low. Okay, same for the next combination 1 0, present state when it is 0 it is in the 1, and present state when it is 1 it is high. Okay, so it concludes that whatever may be the output provided 0 or 1, it would be in the set state, that is both the inputs in the next state would be in the logic high signal. Okay, whereas for the fourth case, that is when both the inputs are high, that is 1 1, when the output provided is 0, next state is invalid or forbidden. Okay, we cannot be judging whether it is 0 or 1, it would be in the forbidden state, right? So that's why for both the combination we need to be writing this dash here. Okay, so this is the complete characteristic table which is formed through the SR flip flop. Okay, so please note it down. This is very important. Now, with respect to the equations formed, you need to be writing the characteristic equation provided. Okay, what you need to be doing, you should be building a K map here. How to build a K map? I've already told you how to do it. Still, I'll tell you here. So you need to be taking three variables S, R, and Q. Okay, so totally three variables. So you should be writing all the combinations, that is starting from 0 0 0, 0 0 1 up to 1 1 1. Okay, so build that K map here. Okay, it is a three variable K map SRQ, and all the eight combinations you mention it here, and wherever it is high, that is for 0 0 1, 1 0 0, and 1 0 1, these three ones you need to be, so 0 0 1 here it is 1, 1 0 0 here it is 1, 1 0 1 here it is 1, and wherever there are dashes, right, that also you need to be mentioning it, because it would be either 0 or 1, so that's why you need to be grouping that as well. So include that dashes and make a group starting from the maximum value. So here group of 4 can be formed, and this one remains, so this group of 2 can be formed. Okay, so if you make these two groups, you would be getting the individual equations for that group. That is for the group of 2 we would be getting r bar q, and for group of 4 we would be getting only s here. Okay, so the our characteristic equation for the next state q of n plus 1, we would be getting it as s plus r dash q. Okay, so this is the characteristic equation of a SR flip-flop. Similarly, now for the JK flip-flop, this is the table form and the equation form. Let us see how it is. So here again, a pair of 4, 0 0, 0 1, 1 0, 1 1 for each present state inputs here. Okay, first for when the both the inputs are 0, and when the output provided is 0, the next state would be 0, and when it is 1, the next state would be 1. It is same as SR flip flop, the output remains unchanged. Okay, whereas for 0 1, for 0 1, when input the output, when output is 0, the next state output would be 0, and when output is 1, the next state also would be 0. This is also same as SR flip flop, only that is it is in the reset state. And the third case also, it is in the set state. Okay, the first three cases are same as that for the SR flip flop. Only in the final case you see here, it would be in the toggle state, right? When both the inputs are high, when the output provided is 0, the next state would be 1, and when output provided is 1, the next state would be 0. Whereas in the previous state, that is in the SR flip flop, it was dash, right? It was in the forbidden state. Okay, whereas for JK flip flop, it would be in the toggle state. It would be reverse of whatever the provided input. Okay, so with respect to these, now make the K map wherever it is high, that is 1 1 1 1. So there are four ones here, so put it here according to the three variable K map, and make a group here. This would be one group of two, and this in the corners would be one group of two. So for this group it is K bar Q, and for this group it is J Q bar. Okay, so that's what total summation would be equal to Q of n plus 1 is J Q bar plus K bar Q. So this is the characteristic equation formed with respect to JK flip flop. Now, characteristic table of a D flip flop. D flip flop is also called as data flip flop. It is a single input, right? So this is that table form. One input D for again you need to be making two pairs here. For 0 0, when the input is 0, the when the output if you when the output gained, if it is 0, the next state output would be 0. And when the data input is 0, when the output is 1, the next state output would be 0. As I've told you, whatever the data you provide, the output would be remaining the same in the next state. Okay, whatever the value may be in the present state, the output would be same as the data provided. So you see here, when the data are 0, for both 0 and 1, the next state output would be 0. Similarly, in the next case also, for 1 1 here, when the output is 0, the next state output would be 1. And for the next case, when output is 1 in the present state, the next state output would be 1. Okay, so whatever the data input provided here, the same would be the output for the next state. Okay, so with respect to this, now build a K map here. So here are two high inputs here. One is for you need to be considering four pairs. One is 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. So the outputs are high for 1 0 and 1 1. You put this in this K map here, two variable K map, and one group is formed, that is equal to D. So our equation, characteristic equation would be Q of n plus 1 is equal to D for a D flip flop. Okay, now final flip flop, that is the toggle flip flop characteristic table. So how it is given, you see here again, you need to be mentioning a group pair of two here, 0 0 and 1 1. So first thing is, when the present state, when the input output provided is 0, the next state output would be 0. And for the when the output provided is 1, the next state output would be 1. Okay, so when the two of the toggle signals are high, when output in the present state, when it is 0, in the next state the output would be 1. And when the output in the present state is 1, the next state output would be 0. Okay, so like this, the toggle state is obtained because the continuous toggling is happening, and like this the characteristic table is formed. Now with respect to two variable K map, 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1, you mention the high inputs here and make the characteristic equation of a toggle flip flop. Okay, so we won't be getting any pairs here, we would be getting individual groups. So that is T bar Q plus T Q bar. It is equivalently, we could be calling it as T XOR with Q. Okay, so this is the characteristic equation which you get for the T flip flop. Okay, yeah, so these were the characteristic table and equations